Hey guys, it's me, Gary Lee Stanley, your real estate sales guy, your sales guy, your insurance sales guy, and yes, I work for Exit Real Estate. Our subject for today is selling, so let's go ahead and dive right on into it. So, what's our subject for today? Our subject for today is why does life insurance, I said life insurance, and your mortgage, that's on your house, why does it matter? Yeah, that's a pretty good question. Well, let me go ahead and say this, guys. I sell real estate, but I also sell life insurance too. And they both really mingle. And let me explain the reason why. A lot of people, and I've seen it in my own experience, where people will buy a beautiful home. They're spending anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 or more a month just to be able to enjoy a beautiful home. They're paying their insurance, so in case of a fire, flood, and so forth happens, they're going to be covered and they'll be able to have it replaced. Also, they're either paying what they call they're also sometimes paying this thing called PMI. PMI is insurance that covers the bank in case you default on your loan. Now, if you don't put down at least 20%, you're guaranteed going to have to pay this, and it sucks because you're not paying for anything that's of value to you. But what it does do is protect the financial institutions. So what do? A lot of times, like I said, I've ran into many people in my life. I've dealt with finances for quite a few years. And one of the things that I found out when I would call on customers, they would have quite a lot of debt. Sometimes they'd have two or three cars, they'd have two or three, four, five credit cards, bill on top of bill, and they'd have mortgage on top of it. Okay. And then they were trying to learn and refinance their home. And then I would go through a bunch of different questions, asking them questions and questions. And the one question that I always asked, and the financial institutions never did this, but I did, I asked them, well, did you have any insurance in case one of you were to pass away? And I'm going to tell you what, it really surprised me. And that's why I ended up getting my insurance license, because about 90% of the people that I talked to, they said, what? Insurance? What? See, they thought life insurance was, something that would, not benefit them in now. And they had to pay a bunch of money for it. Well, I'm going to tell you a secret. When you are a younger person, you get insurance at a really good rate. And it's like the insurance that you have on your home, on your car. Yeah, you probably say, well, it's like throwing money away. Well, here's the thing. Everybody dies, and we never know when it's going to happen. And if you have a car and you don't have car insurance, your family's kind of screwed, and you don't get your car fixed, you don't get a new one. If you don't have fire insurance or health insurance, for instance, you ain't going to be able to go to the doctors. They're going to send you, they'll let you come on into the doctors, but they'll spend you and charge you a whole lot of money and send you a big old bill. And you'll be like, wow, I wish I would have had health insurance. Same thing goes with life insurance. If you've ever thought about this, a lot of people just pass away. With this corona thing that's recently happened, it's really come to fruition that people really need to think about getting life insurance. Now, some people call it mortgage insurance, which basically covers the amount of money that you're paying each month. Also, it could be as coverage that will go ahead and pay the house off. Basically, what it is just life insurance. It really is. And you can get it for term, which means you can have it set for 30 years. It's a little bit less expensive. But see, if nothing happens, a lot of that money is gone. It's just gone. And when you get to be 20 or 30 years older, you got to re-sign up for your insurance. And you're older, now you're on medications. You may have doctor issues. And it could be a lot of different things. And it could cause you to have to pay a lot of money that you could have saved if you would have bought it a little bit more earlier. Life insurance ain't no joke, guys. I'm telling you what, people are dying to see me. And I'm just being facetious when I say that, but the truth is that, listen, it's going to happen. It doesn't happen when you think it's going to happen. I've had friends of mine who had family members and parents and also their significant other pass away. And some of them had kids, 2 or 3 kids. And what happened was it devastated them. A lot of times when people die, they don't know what to do. So they go to the funeral homes, which are good people. They want to make sure they're taken care of. But what ends up happening is they end up spending a lot more money than they thought they should have. And not many people I know have anywhere from $2 to $10 to $15,000 in their back pocket, or that they can just easily grab from and use. It's very difficult sometimes, and people put it on credit cards, they finance this stuff, and it can be devastating. So what I'm sharing with you is, guys, I'm a real estate guy. I sell real estate with Exit Real Estate Gallery, and my name is Gary Lee Stanley, your real estate sales guy. My website is yourrealestatesalesguy.com. yourrealestatesalesguy.com. I sell insurance too. And the reason why I sell life insurance is because I have seen where people didn't have any insurance in play, and they ended up having to move out of their homes, uproot their children out of the school systems that they were involved in, and they ended up having to live in a place that was in their means. Now what happens is you buy a house, your payment's $1,500 a month, and then what'll happen is your significant other die. And hey guys, don't think that women don't die. Women die too. And if you've been with your children all by yourself, it can be very, very hard. And children are very, very expensive. So don't think that just because you got life insurance on yourself that your wife doesn't need insurance too. You do, both of you, or your significant other. You know, in this day and age, people, there are different types of relationships. So my simple job is to help you get a home, but also help people who already have homes or who are going to get a home, help them get insurance, so that way if something happens, it will, and things do, that they don't have to go dipping in their pocket, freaking out, what am I going to do? Now, I personally have life insurance on myself and also on my son. And the reason why I bought that was for peace of mind. I want to leave a legacy. I also want to make sure that when something happens to me, that my family's prepared. My son is prepared. And that means he can go ahead and get some insurance and be able to take care of my wishes. Because like I said, some people want to be buried, some people want to be cremated, some people want an elaborate thing, and some people just want it very simple. They don't want any frills or anything. But it makes sense to be prepared. Now, if you have a mortgage and if you're paying on your mortgage every month, it's a lot of money. And try missing a payment, and what happens is you get these letters. If you miss 2 or 3, they'll put you into foreclosure, and the next thing you know is you've lost everything that you've already invested in. Because when you buy a house, you've got to put down a binder, which means you got to say, hey, here's some money. I'd like to buy your house, or I'd like to buy this house. And then you got to get the closing costs, and it can be tens of thousands of dollars that you've already invested. So if your significant other were to pass away, or if you were to pass away, what would your family do? What would they do? First off, they'd grieve. Oh my gosh, there's nothing worse than watching somebody pass away. But when they had some security there, the first thing they're going to say is, did mom or dad or did Tom or Bill or Mary and Sue, did they have insurance? That's the very first thing people think. Do they have insurance? And if you don't, they're screwed. That means they're going to have to come out of that pocket with all that money, honey. And I'm going to tell you what. If you ain't got a stack of paper, when they ask for that paper to bury them or cremate them, you're going to be overwhelmed and devastated, and you're going to be mad because you or your significant other didn't buy no insurance. And everybody thinks they got plenty of time to buy insurance. Oh, I'll wait till, you know what? If you buy it when you're younger, the bite doesn't sting so much. But when you get to be in your 50s, 60s, and 70s, that bite bites. Now, when you're in your 50s, you can still get some decent prices on insurance. but you get limited amount of insurance. Oh, I want that $1 million policy. You can get that, but if your budget don't work, you ain't gonna get it. And always remember this one thing, folks. When you're getting insurance, get what you can afford. You know, you got some silly salespeople out there to try to make you get something that you can't afford, and then your policy lapse. So if you buy a home and it's 150, 300,000, good. What you should do is go ahead and get you either a term life policy, which you can go ahead and at one point it will stop. And they do have riders now where you can pay it off in a certain amount of time. And then you also have whole life. Whole life policies really work because it's for the whole life. And if you move out of that home, you can take it with you to the new home. Basically what it is an insurance, a final expense program that when you die, that your family will be taken care of. They'll get a nice little chunk of change. Tax free. Ooh, that's real good. And see, what can happen is when you're all frizzled and frazzled and everything, and when your significant other passes away, they're going to go ahead and send you a check, and then you can have a peace of mind. That means you can figure out, do I need to move out of my house? A transition period. Because if you by yourself can afford to pay for a house, that's cool. But if your significant other were to lose you, would they be able to keep that house? Or if one of you were to pass away and both of you work together as a team to pay for that mortgage, would they be able to afford to pay that note every month? And if you're saying no to any of these questions, then you need to buy some life insurance. You know, my name is Gary Lee Stanley, your real estate sales guy and also your insurance sales guy. What I do every day is I walk people through the process of getting homes and also getting insurance to cover the risk. It's not like a car. It's not like it's you, it's your body, it's your peace of mind, it's your family. Look at your children, look at your wife, look at your husband, look at your significant other. What would you do if they weren't there? Would you be living the way you're living now? You got to really think about this, folks. Nobody likes to talk about death. It's morbid. So what I do is when I talk to customers, I can do a lot of this right over the phone. My telephone number is 904-662-8933. If you don't want to talk with me, you can talk to any kind of insurance agent and they can walk you through a process. First off, they're going to ask you your name. They're going to ask you how old you are. They're going to ask for your social security number. So you do have to give that to them. Oh, I can't do that. That's the only way where they can really check to make sure, you can qualify. And on top of that, what they're going to do is they're going to ask you about your history, your medical history. Have you had a seizure? Are you on blood thinners? Are you a person who's diabetic? Do you have heart issues? And you can still get policies and stuff, but there are stipulations behind those policies, and sometimes you have to wait up to a year to 2 years to be able to get it to cover in full effect. But a lot of times they can start right then. And what happens is they'll ask you some questions about the type of medications. There's this thing called the MIB. And what they do is they look at your information and they'll go ahead and give you insurance right away if you qualify. And it don't take but a few minutes, about 15, 20 minutes to walk you through the process. As long as you've had the conversation and you get the information, you spit it to them and they tell you, okay, yeah, you qualify. But see, here's the thing. When you talk to me, what I'm going to find out is let you know what you can qualify for. I'm going to tell you, this might be something that you might want to consider. And believe me, folks, buy insurance on your children. It's dirt cheap. And if something were to happen, we live in the real world. People pass away every day. People are dying by the thousands every day in car accidents. And it's a fast world. So don't feel upset if your salesperson or the person that walked you through the process to get insurance, did you want to get that on your children or your grandchildren? It's dirt cheap and things happen. Think about it. We just had this corona thing. Literally, it could have killed millions of us, but fortunately, by the grace of God, it did hurt a lot of people, but it could have been a whole lot worse. and I love talking to people about final expense. I can walk you through the process, help you get the insurance that you need. And my name is Gary Lee Stanley, your real estate sales guy. And if you want to find out who I am, check me out on my website at yourrealestatesalesguy.com. It'll take you right to my exit page. You can look at all the beautiful houses. And if you need me, let me know. I'm at 904-662-8933, and I can walk you through making sure that your family is secured, because believe me, everybody needs insurance. The topic for today is, why does life insurance and your mortgage on your home matter? Now you know, get you some insurance. Stuff happens. So do me a favor, go out there and have a good day. And I'll take care of you. Just give me a holler. Remember, yourrealestatesalesguy.com. I sell life insurance too. I want to make sure that when you purchase a home, that your home is covered and your assets and all that are covered too. All right. Have a nice day.